Guys doing? Hey, my friends, we are right now doing tactics for Charlie Kirk. We're gonna do this stream in honor of him, in honor of his life, and we want to also Team Chess Cruncher wants to be. We are Charlie like that. We are standing up for chess. Team Chess Cruncher. We are Charlie for chess. We also, like he would say, we want to honor the Lord through his life. And so right now we're going to be doing tactics, and this is to honor Charlie Kirk and to honor the Lord through tactics. And we are Chess Cruncher for Charlie Kirk. Okay, let's do this. All right. So what we're looking at here is let's make sure all the sounds good. All the sounds good. Excellent. Okay, we're gonna do this, and this stream is to honor Charlie Kirk. Kirk. I apologize. Forgive me. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get as many as we can, and let's do it. All right. Okay, Doki. So look, we're looking at. Looks like my bishop is in trouble. Do you see how? So okay, we're looking at the bishop is in trouble. So now let's get going on this. So let's see how we can do this. If you guys see anything, put it in. And please also, like what we always say, if you're going to, in YouTube, comment, please make it clean and hopeful, joyful, loving, because that's what this stream would be about, and that's what he would want. So thank you so much for doing that. Okay. All right. So if we push here, if we push h5, that's not the correct move because bishop takes. We don't have any checks. So we got to find a way to win the bishop. I guess we could actually play rook f4 here. And if the bishop retreats to h5, do we have a check that we can win? Checking there, the king moves either up to d2, f1, or f2, and I don't think we win the bishop. Ooh, this is a good one here. If we play rook g8, this will skewer the bishop to the knight, which when the knight moves, we'll pick up the bishop. Let's do it. Beautiful. Now we can just push the pawn, and we win the bishop. Excellent job. Great work, team. Okay, let's do it. Okay. Let's see now. This is the most important moment of the game. Find a way to checkmate me. So let's see if there's a way we can checkmate white here. Sometimes you can set up like combinations of maybe dh8, and then you have the h7 to h1 mate. That's an idea. But is it fast enough? Like if we play dh8, rook dh8, and he plays g3, and we try to check. I guess that would do the old double rook mate, as I like to say, and there would be no way to stop. So I think this is actually the correct move. Still, now we have to decide. We got to be careful. We can't just check right now on h1 because the king would flee. So you have to now, as we like to say, put the king in a box. And so that move would be g3, and it stops the king from fleeing to f2. And then we take with the rook, the knight takes, and then we deliver checkmate. See, that's how you do it. Great job, team, for doing all that and setting this up. All right. Now we're going to win this. Excellent. Let's see what we got here. Okay, dokie. Beautiful. Just want to make sure everything's streaming right. No internet drops or anything. Excellent. Okay. calculate correctly and you'll win material. So let's see if we calculate correctly. We have 4 pieces, a knight, knight, bishop, bishop. He has a knight, knight, bishop, bishop. So if we can, maybe it's winning a rook, maybe it's winning maybe a minor piece. So we have to take a look. We also see that the bishop on b3 is very close to being trapped. So that could potentially be an idea with c4 if we can get that in. And so we could do that. Yes. Well, let me see if we play knight e4, knight takes e4. The pawn doesn't have to. I guess the pawn would take, because if we play knight takes e4, queen takes, and then bishop would take e4. So it'd actually be knight takes e4, d takes e4, and then we trap the bishop with h4. Or c4, I mean. This wins the bishop on the spot. See, sometimes what you have to do is, we'll go back here and really take a look. You have to remove a guard, and the pawn is the guard that's guarding c4, which would allow us to actually play c4 to trap this bishop. So sometimes you have to do some trades first, and then after all the smoke settled, you can play c4 and win the bishop. And that's what happened here. We took, and you have to always remember to take with the right piece. Like the bishop is a really powerful long distance piece. The knight is not. And so by trading a knight for a strong knight, and he takes back and we win the bishop, we have 2 very slicey, dicey bishops here. Okay, let's do it. Okay. I blundered. You can win material from me. So let's see if we can win material from white. And let's see. Okay. I see that, the one that stands out, maybe huge, would be oh yeah, queen takes. No, that doesn't work, because that would not lead to anything. Let's see if we play rook takes, queen takes. Then we actually have bishop takes check. After king takes the rook, we can take back with the pawn. That's an idea. If we take here, king takes, we still win the bishop. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else. If we play rook takes d6, which isn't the best move. You always got to look at these. Knight takes, we try to pin, and then he can actually play c5 here, protecting it. So that's why we have to first remove the. Oh, we're not. No. So. Oh, remove the queen. That's even better. See, our idea was good, but there's actually an even better one. So by taking taking rook takes e4, and then pawn takes or king takes, we win a bishop. But by doing this combination, we can actually trade off a rook for a queen. This is actually stronger. This one's better. Remember, some moves that you can play, that even if you pick up a minor piece and stuff like that, go for it if you can't see these kind of combinations. It's better to be up material in a strong position, even if you miss some of these. Like when you go over your games and you're like, what? Where did this happen? How come I didn't see this? Don't worry about it. Go over it, learn from it, and you'll get better. That's why we're doing tactics, to see the unseen. Okay, let's go on to the next one. All right. Checkmate is waiting if you play carefully. Okay, so can't check here. There's a check here. There's a check there. So these are the 3 type of checks that we can look at. Let's first look at, we know this one's falls to the queen takes, so this one's off the table. So we have these 2 checks to look at. Actually, sorry, we have 3 checks. This check allows the king to flee. This check allows the king to come up. Then we have nothing. We've exchanged everything off for a critical moment. And if we look at queen takes e6, that's why we take a second check. You can see that the squares are taken away from the king, and so when the king moves, we can play rook h8 and it's checkmate. So let's do that. Your pawn is heading for the back rank. What is the only path forward? This looks kind of interesting. At first glance, you would think that rook takes c8 would be correct. But then you have bishop takes c8, and you can't really push this pawn because the bishop would actually take it. The funny thing is, you have to actually do what looks like a crazy move, which would be actually b7. Because if the rook now moves, let's say over here, you have a queen. You can actually queen, or even better, you can actually take this rook after king takes and then queen with either one of these, and you're gonna have a really good position. So let's do that. So now we're coming to a critical moment. Let's take this rook here first, and when the king takes back, I think that, in my opinion, I think that there's one stronger move than all of them. After taking, it looks like taking here is queening on b8 looks good, but we don't actually win the bishop, even though we play c8 queens, bishop takes, check, and the king moves. We actually now have the ability to come and stop an attack on f5 here, check. And when the king moves, then now we can play queen to e4, and then that shuts everything down. Even if he moves for a check, we can actually play king e2, and everything's operation lockdown, as they like to say. Okie dokie, let's see here. Make moves that work towards pawn promotion. Well, the first move that comes to mind is taking. Now, if you do Jeremy Silman's endgame, if you can get a pawn on either the 3rd rank or the 6th rank, and they're like this, you can actually win the game because there's not enough time for the king to get going. And then if they try to push, we go king f7, and they still can't stop us. If they go h6 here, we actually can play a really interesting continuation. I think, let's see, h6. I'm gonna go with this move here. Okay, so they actually played that, and then we take. Now they can't stop. See, that the whole idea of, we'll go over a similar endgame later on this. These are pretty cool. So now what we'd have to take a look at is, after pushing, does white have enough time to play h6? I don't think so, because then we can push, and after pushing here, sorry, we come, let me do that again. After here, we push, and the interesting thing is you have to take a second to move your king to f7, and that shuts everything down. Because sometimes it's not, because the king's so far away for white, you can actually take that moment and actually do that. So sometimes just take a second, safety everything, and then queen to make sure. Because it looks very tempting to actually play after this move, queening, but then you have g7, and I guess you still could do it. Yeah, I think both would still work. Probably queening would actually be better, but you know, depends on if you want to make you really safety the position or go for a complete, knockout annihilation. Let's see here. Checkmate is coming. Do you see the way to win? Hmm. I'm trying to see here if... Oh, interesting. I think if we play rook, rotates rook. No, that doesn't work. Well, I can... Oh, this is actually better. Knight e2, because it's threatening for the king to go in the corner, and then we mate. See, if we had actually taken rook takes rook here, bishop takes, and it doesn't really matter even if we come in because this rook now guards the back rank. But by playing knight f2 and this rook guards the whole f file, the king would have to move and it would be mate. So the rook at that point takes. So knight here, check. Rook takes d2, and then rook d1. And there's no way to stop. If he intercepts, we actually just take it as mate. So let's do that. That's a brilliant move. Good job, team. There's mate. Excellent, excellent work. Okay, here. Can you find a way to win material from me? Tempting to play rook takes h5. Let's see if there's any checks that he could do. I can't take a check there. b7 check. Can check. G6, and I think all checks are gone. What I actually think the funny thing is bishop takes is I think strong because it threatens to actually play a rook c1 now. I like this move here. Yeah, this actually wins on the spot. And the interesting thing is you have time, just enough time to come back. And then you stop. And you're up a bishop and 1 pawn. So 4 pawns, you're up. Excellent job for spotting that. Great, great work. Okay, come on. There we go. We're doing good. We're doing good. Let's see how we're doing. Excellent. We're 40 points now ahead. Let's see if we can get maybe 40 points. Sorry, 40,000 points. And let's see if we can get 50,000. My queen is vulnerable, or vulnerable. Do you see a way to win it? Let's see. Trying to see. We can't play bishop here. That'd be a nice idea of doing there. Let's see. We're trying to see if the queen. Oh, interesting. No, because the queen would take. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Maybe we have check. If the king moves. Interesting, we have then check, king takes. Oh, interesting. Actually, that is interesting. Bishop b7 check. If the king goes to b8, which is forced, we can actually, in theory, sacrifice our rook, which would draw the queen to d8, And then our knight can come in, forking the king and the queen. Wow, that's a pretty long combination, but it's playable. So let's do it. And now what happens also is we get to pick up a whole rook. So we go up and a whole, basically, I think a whole minor piece exchange. But I think if we play it right and we take, maybe we can get our knight out, and then we'd be a whole rook up. Either way, we're an exchange up, so we're all to the good there. Okay, let's see here. If you play this right, you can win a rook. So we need to play this correctly. I'm looking at potentially bishop e5 with a battery of a mate on h2, because then if rook tries to take, we have mate with the queen here. No, not there. Queen here with this battery. I'm trying to see if there's, after we play bishop e5, king goes to f1. I still think we have yeah, we still have this mate because of this rook here. Yeah, this is actually the best continuation. Oh, interesting. Now we can, in theory, take this rook because the queen can't actually come back because it would be mate on h2. So we actually win an entire rook. Of course, you see if the queen takes c1, queen h2 is mate. Yay! We're doing good. We're at 3 now. Nice work, team. We're doing excellent. Find a way to end the game with checkmate. This should be interesting. I'm trying to see if rook f3, because we have a check here. See, if we tried like moving here, the queen could actually take it. And I guess we still have checkmate, don't we? Like if we play rook takes d2, we have, if queen takes, then we actually have queen takes c1 mate. And we can't play rook at c3. Looks tempting to, protect the bishop, but the king could just move forward and it's all over. This is kind of interesting. And I like this idea also because it blocks the connection of the queen and the rook together. You see right here, because our rook would be there, and that would allow mate on c1. Let's do that. Because I'll show you, it looks tempting to play this move, right? Then the king comes up. I just wanted to reinforce that so you know. Okay. If you calculate and win, you can calculate win my knight. So, let's see here. If we play bishop takes knight, bishop takes bishop, bishop takes, king takes, and then there. Let's try to see if there's anything else. And if bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop takes check. Actually, if bishop, my bad there. If bishop takes h6 and the bishop takes, we have queen f7 mate. Yeah, so this is the move here. Now we take, first, and then we take and we go up a whole exchange. The other idea, of course, you saw if bishop takes here, bishop takes h, then we come in mate. So that his best continuation is actually to take this bishop, then we come back, he takes, and we go up a whole exchange. See, he only has one knight. We have two knights. Okay, we're getting close to actually going to the next level. Do you see how we're on the wood puzzle symbol? We're going to be going to the next one. You're in a critical position. Find a way to win material. So we have to find a way to somehow maybe win material here. We also have to be very efficient here too, because actually we don't, because there's not really much that white could do. There's no really sacrifices. Even if they played f8, we could take. So there's time, but why waste time when you can go for a complete KO? I'm looking at rook takes g3, pawn takes g3, rook e2, check. Then king comes back, and we have mates. So you have to look at these forcing continuations. There's also this interesting check that you probably already considered, which was queen to g3. But that doesn't do enough, because they can actually either move to these two squares, and mainly they probably move to h1 maybe, and then if you played rook can't take now because the queen's there. Yeah, let's just go for the takedown. Now we have check. Queen comes in. Find a way to win material. This is how we actually win material. Surprisingly, if the king takes, not there either. If the king takes, we have queen e4 skewering, actually forking the king and the rook, and that's how we win material. Be on the lookout for that, and you can make cool combinations that'll win a game, or at least shell shock your opponent into potentially going into a tailspin, and then you can win the game from there. One move can really throw the game. I've actually seen, I've watched a game of a player on chess.com and Lichess, and the bar went from one side to the other for mate in one move. It's kind of interesting how that can happen. It's all about playing the correct move, and that's why we do chess. I mean tactics. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, you're close to checkmate, and let's see if we can go kaboom again on them. Oh, interesting. I like this continuation. See this bishop's pinning the f7 pawn, so we can actually, in theory, play queen takes, and there's no way to take it, and that's going to be mate after he intercepts. The only way that they can continue the game is actually bishop h7 or g7, and then we play queen h7 mate. So let's do that. There's the mate. So isn't it interesting how a pin can win, as I like to say? And we did a kaboom. There we go. Find a way to promote a pawn. Well, if you see it, put it in there. Okay, so take your time. See if you can promote the pawn. Like if you're watching this after the stream on Twitch, or if you're watching it on YouTube, just see if you can see all the way through. And if not, you can stay on and watch how we do it and keep improving that way too. Seeing here, I think, let me see, if we played h3, knight comes in. I don't think that would be the knight. Knight here, push, there, and then queens, even if he wins the rook, who that is not a big deal. We can actually come over and take it. And this pawn, surprisingly, is a very important pawn, so you don't want to push that. Otherwise, it would allow the bishop to guard h1, and we don't want the bishop to guard h1. So let's push h3. Now let's push h2. And now we will take the rook, takes bishop, knight takes, and then we queen. Those kind of combinations are cool. And even if you have a combination that's really cool looking and they kind of throw a different move in, see if you can still implement that plan, but just a different way. So don't get like, oh no, they saw my idea. Maybe you can, instead of checkmate or something, you can win material and later on checkmate. So don't throw in the towel. My bishop is vulnerable. Do you see a way to win it? Do you guys see a way to win the bishop? Let's see. Trying to see if there's any checks. There's really no. This actually doesn't do anything because rook takes, and there's no way to continue the fight. Oh, maybe queen e5. Queen e5 is, I think, the move because it threatens h2 mate and it also attacks the bishop. Let's play that one right away, not even, waste any time so we can go to the next one. Have some more fun. So now we're in a pin. I mean, not us, they are. Black win this game with checkmate. So now we gotta find a checkmate here. The queen's pinned on f3 by our queen, which is big. Trying to see what we got here. 1 second. I'm now trying to look at queen takes, rook takes, rook check, king comes up, rook check, king comes there, nothing. There is rook e1, queen takes e1, check, okay, there, check, kick up, check, but then knight takes. So there's checkmate here. It's too bad the queen guards and the queen and knight guard h5. The rook move would be really cool to play. Rook takes h8 bam, or rook takes h2 bam, I mean, would be cool. Our queen's under fire too. Man. Ooh, interesting. Actually, this actually is a very strong move. We should have seen that once the rook moves, the back rank is vulnerable. Now we just take. Sometimes the easiest ones are the ones that we miss, so always be on guard to not allow that to happen. First move would look like king h7, but then we have rook f6, then knight d5, bishop takes d5, pawn takes d5, and or not that pawn, but this pawn takes, and there's nothing, or even if rook takes, there's nothing. I'm looking at maybe, is it maybe king G1, G8? It's either king G8 or king H7. We kind of looked at king H7 here. It's kind of an interesting continuation. King G8. Let's see if there's anything there. We already looked at that. So check king G8 here. I think they still have the idea of doubling up. I'm just trying to see if there's any difference. I think the reason king H7 loses is I think that's checkmate. Almost. Then king comes back. Then we can actually come back guarding and nothing. I like king G7 for one reason. If king G8, if the rooks double, then you can actually win the bishop. But then wouldn't that be that'd be equal position? Yeah, I'm gonna go G8. Then we win here. He takes. He comes up. Oops. I think we just come down here. That's an interesting. If doubling up, remember, we actually win. And we're up. Let's see, they only have 3 pawns. We would have 1, 2, 3. We'd actually be 3 pawns up. So that's why they played this move here. And we did kaboom. We're up 200 points. Wow. Great job. We're really, really taking it to the next level. Great job, team. You're working really good. Let's see here. There's a way to end this game with checkmate. Then we can go bam. Let's see if we can actually do a bam. Then I'll have to say, can I get a bam bam? Or kabam, as I like to say, or kaboom. Either one. Okay, there's a way to end this game with checkmate. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out his rook check d8. Then he has king f7. No, there's no king f7 because of the knight. And then if king, so the only move would be king e7 here. Is there any continuation? Let's see. Trying to see if there's any continuation. If you see anything, put it in, my friends. I think we just gotta go with it, because we know for sure that's the first continuation. Try to see which knight move is actually the best. If we do knight c6, that allows, let's check this one out. That allows f7, which this check doesn't do anything. Kind of funny. It's a null check. If we go knight g6, there is one problem a little bit. King could go to f8 here, or f7. So the knight's actually doing a good job. Just trying to figure out if there's any other way to checkmate. I can't play queen here because of pawn. Can't play here because of bishop and queen. Not there. Bishop and queen. And even knight. I can't even play queen g6 here because of king takes. And that doesn't do anything. It's a tricky one here. Tricky. Yeah, this is actually the best continuation because the knight's protected by the queen. Yeah, that's actually the best continuation because it does basically a Arabian mate because you have the rook and the knight combination. Kaboom! Look at 210. Let's see if we can bring this to an end, as I like to say. Oh, nice. Do you see the checkmate idea? This looks pretty straightforward. I think you already see it. Bam. If they give you these wonderful moves that are quick, take it because you get an extra 15 seconds. Or points, not seconds, points. And that really helps with climbing up the ladder. Let's see here. If we let's take, because the idea is we want to be in front of this pawn. Because when we do, I'll show you. We'll just do the lines. If he moves back, we just bring our king forward. If he moves back, we bring our king forward. And so we'll be right here. And the idea is if he goes king f3, we go king h4. When he comes back to king to g2, we go king g4. And when he gives way king f2, we go king h3. And if he tries to come back, then we push, and then we push, and then we queen. So there's no way to... You'll have to start learning how this works. This is actually a really good position. Let me pull up something just in case. We'll do a chess. I'll see if we can actually look at this position, because I'm going to put it on puzzle so that we can go to our next one. Let's see. Analyze. Let's see if we can analyze. This is a really good one to analyze right here. And then we'll walk you through it. What we were talking about. Come on. Okay. Come on. Don't lag them in now. Okay. Let's say that he moves here. Taking. King takes. Up. King up. And so now, if he goes to h3, we go f4, king f4. If he goes ef3, we go h4. And we'll show you each line. So when he goes back to g2, we go to g4. When he comes to g2 again, or f2, we'll go king h3. And when he tries to come and stop the pawn, we push. There's also a line where if he moves back, we can also move forward. And if he moves here, then we play check. He moves here. We move up. He moves here. We come here. He comes up, and then we queen. There's that idea. But the whole idea is to get your king right here. I'll show you. If you could get your king in front, it covers these squares. Because if the white king can actually get to any one of these squares, I'll show you. If we did this here, which would be a bad move, don't do that. he could actually come here. After we play, he comes back. We come. This actually is a draw. And I'll show you how. Comes here, comes back. It's a pretty quick draw. Once you learn how this works, you can actually sometimes save a game. And what you do is you come over here. Make sure that you don't like do any of this over here, because if you play it over here, that's completely losing. It's mate in 11. But if you play the right move, H on 1, here, there, and it's draw. So always remember to, we'll go back. At this point, play G5 here. And you have the game. And remember, try to get in front of your pawn with your king. And you stop the king from getting to the vital H4, G4, and F4 squares to stop you. So always keep that in your mind. That's a game winner. Okay, let's get on to our next puzzle here. Great job. We got to do an endgame lesson. Those are always fun. Oops, that's a blunder by me. Can you find a way to win my queen? Well, we can if rook takes, check, queen takes. We actually have queen check here. Yeah, I like this move here. Bam. That's the first. Now we come in and we win the queen. There's also a sideline where if queen takes, you have queen takes d2, you have queen takes f3, and that also sets up for a kind of awkward move. He has to come back, and then we play knight d3, which is forcing a checkmate because the queen guards here, here, and the knight guards. So the queen actually guards all these squares, and so this queen would have to take. We'll show you how that works. I think we already solved this. Yeah. Let's pull that one up and go over it. These are fun. What we should do is just go over a couple of them. Like we'll go over maybe one more of these, and then we'll get to C. Okay, pushes. That was a losing move. We take here. If queen takes, because we were going to look at that move, we play queen takes F3. Remember, the queen covers here, here, and here. So the only move that the king can come to is E1. When the knight comes in, check. Let me see. It said that was a 4. Let's see what. Oh, you can actually win the rook. That's even better. Because then if you come up, you have the same idea. If you come here, you have an idea of the same idea. Checking there, here. I think checking here. Check. If he tries to come here. Trying to see where mate 15 is forced. E1, queen, so queen takes, king f2, queen h3 check, or h2 check, queen h2, king comes up. Queen takes g3 check. Coming up, I think, is losing as well. Because you're up basically a whole exchange. Yeah, that's an interesting one. But we were just talking about that they have a better idea. We were just talking if he played something like, if this rook wasn't there and there was no taking, this would actually win a queen for a knight. So, you know, I'm just showing you an idea where some of those are kind of crazy. Okay, now we'll just stick with tactics a little bit. Since you got to see some, you know, ideas of combinations, we'll stick with our tactical combination play. Looks like my rook is in trouble. Do you see how? Yeah. See, if we play c4, the bishop's the only piece that's guarding c2. So it's actually an overloaded piece because it also has to guard c4, and so when we play that, we actually jump in and we pick up a rook, that's a really nice move. Now we're doing really good on our combinations. How are we doing here? Okay. There's a way to end this game with checkmate. I'm trying to make a Lucinda idea. I don't know if we can actually make a Lucinda because then they go back. Oh, maybe we can. Bishop g6 unleashes this. Yeah, bishop g6 sets up a Lucinda position. But it's not this way. It's a Lucinda this way. So we kind of do a side, we go from here to the front. It's really cool. Sometimes you get to do that, and that's fun to do. Okay. We have to draw the king away, so the first move, of course, is bishop. And then we take the knight, so we just take and take. There's also a move sequence where if the king moves there, we could actually play queen takes, bishop intercepts, takes, queen there, intercepts, and we still get mate. It's unpleasant. That's a more painful way of losing. So you gotta sometimes that's what the going down in flames is. Let's see. You can win if you find the checkmate idea. We have a checkmate idea. If we take the bishop takes h3, pawn takes h3, queen takes h3 as mate because the bishop here, 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 and check. I'm just trying to see if there's... Well, after taking here, there is this move, which... Do we have enough to... do we have enough to stop the checks? If we play here and we don't... If the bishop doesn't move, we actually don't have any checks. So maybe if it takes queen check, and then maybe king up, maybe bishop check, bishop goes back check, queen takes, and then queen takes, that wins. I think this is the best continuation, yep. I think bishop takes, because we have to do forcing now, because we're down so much material. We're down a rook and a bishop. So it's a forcing mate. If we play bishop takes, g2, Rook takes g2. Rook actually, this actually discovered check. So bishop takes, that's just a double check. King would have to come up here, queen check, king comes there, mate. Let's do it. Surprised I didn't get a brilliant there, but you know, it's what the AI thinks it is, or the algo, that's what we say, or the engine. Queen takes h4 because of the pin. King comes back, and oops, I gotta make sure. King comes up. So here, back, and yeah, let's do it. Now we basically work our queen into h3. Okay, f7. Interesting. I think we still reload the pawn. Now we take. That's an interesting. I was wondering why they didn't play bishop g7 here. I think they were just concerned about don't take that. That'd be silly to actually on bishop g7 to take it, because then it allows a series of checks, maybe perpetual. So if they played bishop h7, g7 check, king g8, and there's none of this check, and you're still gonna lose the queen. So he just went down in flames a different way. Oh, this is our idea again. Taking here and get in front of the king. Remember, you got to learn that idea. You can sometimes in some of the puzzles it does that. We completed our tier. We've reached the stone tier. So let's see if we can't get some more points. Because when you go from wood to stone, it increases by like 5 points, which is actually a big when you get into these huger, like we're at 25 streak, you get a lot more points. Because you also get a different multiplier, so then you can go cha-ching, get more points. Interesting. Finish the puzzle off with checkmate. First comes to mind is checking d2. That's one of the ideas, because you always look at the checks. There's a check here, here, here. Oh, interesting. This one might actually be a really nice one, where if the rook intercepts, you can actually play f4 there. I like that. Oh, no, not that. There. Okay, so that's not it. Wait, that's not it? Huh. Oh, interesting. Okay, we'll start our combination again. Sometimes if your mouse is sticky, just click the spot here, and then click where you want it to go. Like if you wanted this, let's say there's a queen here, you left click this, and then you'd right click where you'd want to go. So left click, and then right click. And if you're right-handed, probably be the opposite if you're left-handed. So, but I'm just doing it for a right-handed person. Okay, so we have. Do you see the checkmate idea? the rook guards here. The rook guards here. I check. If we played knight there, rook takes, bishop check, king comes here. Look at that check, he comes back. Oh, interesting. Then we have a checkmate. Yep, let's do it. If the king went to f8, then you do a double check for a second. It just stops it for a moment. Then you come over, and then you take, and you have the double check. It just lets it go a little farther before the game's ended. Okay. Let's see how we're doing. We're doing so good. All we need to do is get another 6,000 points, and we'll be 50,000 ahead. That's going to be nice. Do you see the checkmating idea? If we play queen f6, king takes, pawn check, king up, and then we play check. Yep, this is it right here. Then we play here check, and then we have our favorite mate, our side mate. There's also a dovetails mate, like if there's a pawn here, you can, it resembles, they're saying like a tail of a dove. But we did a side mate, which is also fun. They're all fun. Fun. Let me see here. Oops, that's a blunder by me. Can you find out how to win material? Try and see here. Rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes. Queen comes over. Queen takes, then takes. I don't know. Do we win enough on that? That's interesting. I think we're forced because this bishop's trapped, so let's go for... Oh, no. Okay, that works too the opposite way. Ooh, okay, we win a knight here. Boom, fork, win. Sometimes you get those really nice, straightforward combos. Go with it. Don't waste time. Get the point and move on. One move away from queening, and that'd be a double check. And after taking, he can actually play bishop takes, queen, and eventually he'd actually be up a whole a rook and a queen. Wow. You're in a critical position. Find a way to win material. So there's... Oh, interesting. They take it here first. He takes up and you win. Kind of one of those interesting continuations. Come on, we're going to do this. We're almost there. We're 5,000 away. Excellent. Let's push this pawn here. Let's take queen takes, rook takes, and then we win this. There we go. 3 in a row. Boom, 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 kabang, as we like to say. Oh, this would be so nice if we had a queen here, and this wasn't a bishop. This is our piece. We got to play here. We'd have a dovetails mate. The perfect one. Okay, here. Let's check. King moves over. We have checkmate there. No. Actually, here, there, check, here. Oh, actually, we have a... Do we have a double check idea here? Excuse me. Yeah, this is a good one here. That surprisingly, that actually leads to a mate. I'm still surprised that that wasn't a double exclam, but maybe it's easy to see or something. You never know. Let's see. Queen checks first. Knight comes up, right? So if we can win the knight, we can win. So let's take that with the pawn. We take first, and it's still, even if the bishop comes here, we can actually win the knight. Then we go up another piece. Oh, yay! We get that. We're going up another one. Yes. Okay, calculate the only path forward. Let's see, we'll get a drink of water here. Let's see what we got. Rook takes f7. Rook here. Let's see. Rook takes f7. I think that starts the combination. And then we win the bishop. c1 takes. Yeah, it's kind of one of those you have to be okay with re-sacrificing back to go up in exchange. And that's not a problem. Remember, we're here to win. Try to promote. Here, queen. Queens. If we push here, queens. I like this is the this is the idea, right? He's threatening to take with check, so maybe. With queen, he takes, only moves here. Queens takes, then was here. Queens. There we go. That wins. Material. Perfect. Let's less than 5,000 away, so we're 4,000. And let's see if we can actually checkmate this this king here. Okay, dokie. Here we go. H5. Oh. There I come. And maybe that's... Oh, there it is. It comes there. Then we check. Comes back. Check. Comes up. And then check. Let's see what we got here. You're in a critical position. Find a way to win rook. So there's only one rook, so we have to find a way to win it. So that's an easy idea. Oh, nice. It's queen b5. And then we come in. Bam, there we go. Sometimes it involves a fork, sometimes it doesn't. Try to see, try to win my bishop. One of the ideas I was looking at is potentially knight d5 or d4. Then it goes back, and we take, rook takes, and then we reload here. Yep. That wins a rook, and actually the game too, because when the rook tries to move, we play rook takes, knight takes, and we're up 2 pawns compared to what he has. So that's always a good thing. Okay, dokie. This is a strong continuation taken here, and then we do the Arabian mate again. You're in a critical position. Find a way to win material. Bishop takes is first. Interesting. Okay. This still wins material because of a fork. Oh, nice. We take here. Knight takes. Knight takes, and we'd be up in exchange, which is cool. I like that. That's enough for me. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Calculate to win my queen. Ooh, interesting. I like bishop. I like this bishop move. That looks pretty sweet. After bishop takes, check, pawn takes. We're still attacking the queen, so the queen only has one move to go to, which should be f3. And then we basically finish it off with h4. Yep, this is it right here. h4, knight takes. There you go. This all it does is this move only right here, bishop takes, only stops it for a moment, taking, and same result's going to happen. So they just went down in flames earlier. Okay, the theme of this puzzle is to promote Yo, a pawn. It's one move away from queening. But if we queen, rook takes, king takes, king up, actually king there, can't come. Yeah, queen. Rook, a1, taking, and now we can actually, if you know how to play it, you can actually do the king and rook mate. That's a pretty cool one. Let's see, what do we got here? The idea is to guide your pawn to the back rank. I think we can actually do that with rook checking on h4 or g4. Queen takes g4, rook takes g4, king takes g4, and then h4. Yeah, that's it. And then remember the box? Yeah, you got to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And when we push, it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we still win. And we still win, we still win. Yeah. All right. Excellent, excellent. We're in a critical position. Find a way to win material. It's going to be interesting if we play d takes c3. Queen takes d6. Bishop takes d6. Pawn takes f6. And then she takes f6. Is that simple? I think it is. And if there, he can't check because of the bishop takes. Yep. Nice, nice, nice. We're getting there. Only 3,000 away. Let's see, what do we have here? Alright, just wanted to make sure everything's okay. Okay, dokie. Let's see what we got. This is the most important moment of the game. Find a way to checkmate me. Let's see. Queen f6. I can't come here, can't come there, can't come there. Only move is, yeah, let's do this one first. Yeah. And now we have to play correctly. If we play h or g5, he takes. Then we check. King comes up. And I believe that's a checkmate. Yep. So if takes, if taking here, we actually check. King comes up. Yeah, taking here. King comes up, check. The rook guards this critical square. The pawns guard everything else, and that's mate. I'll be in trouble if you find a way to promote a pawn. And there is a way. Rook h1. And we have queening. That loses the pawn here. If we play, we take one move, just give ourselves one move of e1 check. If he plays f3 or d3, we can actually queen. This sometimes just, oh, no, so just queening. And then, okay. I thought for sure maybe that would work because of here. It might just might be a secondary move. So, I'm not too sad about that. Take it here. Brilliant move. Take it. Oh, nope. Oh, I thought I had a rook there. Take it. Okay, that would win a piece. Gotcha. Okay. Pawn takes here. Takes. Rook takes, and you win an exchange there. Or you win a whole piece, minor piece. Just. Let's see here. Queen. So I'm worried about this escape here. Now, how do we continue the fight? Oh, maybe. There we go. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Yep, 3,000 away. We're almost there. Almost. Second. Let's see how we're doing over here. Nothing? Okay, good. One moment. My king is starting to feel the pressure, so we have to find a way to add more pressure. There is one way. Knight f5 check. That allows king f6. Boy, this is a tricky one. I think this is it. I'm gonna go with it. Wait, it goes back. Okay, that works. We can go with that. We can go with that. Rook takes pawn. Oh, not rook takes. Oh, it must be. Is it queen takes? Okay. Then rook takes. Gotcha. We stopped the pawn. We have a unstoppable mate there. Let's see, knight check. This will capture a rook. If he just, let's say, just moves, right? Like the king moves anywhere, we can just take the rook. So that's why they take and then do that move there. Beautiful. Let's do a check. It takes. The interesting thing is if we move king f, king c6, we can. The interesting thing is, I think, can I still? That's a pin on my king. Pin. Maybe king c6 is actually the best. Because there's no. The funny thing is, there's a pin on my king, but there's a pin on his queen. Huh. Yeah. There you go. Oh, we're up a piece. Can you find the only path forward? Let's see. We're up a whole pawn. Oh no, we're equal. I'm trying to see if maybe queen e1, king comes up, queen to e4, queen takes e4, pawn takes e4. What they do, the rook does come over here, but then bishop d7. I'm gonna go with it. Bishop d7, yep. Now there's no way to stop that. The basically winning probably like 26. Checkmate. Okay, let's have a sip here. If we take, pawn takes here, we could actually play check, skewering the, and then after queen there. Yep, that was an interesting move. Sometimes you have to open a square for the king, for the queen to come in, and we did that. Great job. We're at 5 now. Okay, we're only 3,700 now away. We're doing it. We're doing it. Okay. On this game with checkmate. Think about checking. Queen comes up. Check. Yep, this is it right here. This is kind of an interesting continuation. Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun checkmate. Fun. Let's see here. If we play knight, d6 check. Let's see, rook takes d8. Bishop takes d8. Knight comes in. He moves over. Mate. Yep. This is the first move. Second move. Next mate. Boom. So close. Only 2,000 now. Somewhere in there. First we check here. Now we play check there, and that's mate. Nice job, team. Okay, our king's in check. If we play king 8, g8, then we go up. There's nothing. It comes up. It comes there. Just buys time. Okay. Remember, we get in front of the king and we win. We take those squares away that we were talking about. My king is weak. It's time to attack. We gotta attack, otherwise we go down. I think queen f5. Okay. There we go. Getting close. Alright, we win the bishop via this way. Queen takes bishop, and then we do yeah, we have to trade, and then we win. Excellent job. Okay, let's do our first check. Pawn up check. Mate check. There you go. We're taking this to the next level. I find a way to win my knight. I mean, win his knight. Trying to see if we move the king, up here. Yeah, this is it. King up. There we go. Now 1,000 away. Take care. I'll check first. Okay. Alright. Right, there we go. Now, let's get this thing done. Okay. Bishop takes knight. Pawn takes. Takes. There we go. That was a straightforward one. Oh, this is a fun one. Queen takes, pawn. That's mate. Good job, team. So far, so good. We're making short work of this 1,000. Okay, blunder. Can you find? You can win my knight. Oh, that makes sense. We just play rook takes knight, pawn check, and win there. There you go. Okay. There's a way to end this with checkmate. Yep. This right here. Up there. There. That's pretty cool. These pawns work as a buffer, and then there's a check. That's just amazing. I like those type of moves. Okay. And we can't. That queen would love to go there. Let's see though. I think we could still do it via that way. There you go. Yep. Alright, couple 100 points and we're done. Win my bishop to win the puzzle. Bishop takes knight, and there. Oops. Here, there. Nice, we're so close. Calculate correctly, and we can win his queen. Let's see if we play queen check. Check with a pin. Get the rook. There you go. Okay. Take a careful look at the board. Do you see a way to win material? So we got to find a way to win material. Queen takes. So taking. This is the start of it. Then we play queen takes, and then we bring the knight in, and we now fork the king and the rook. Good job, team. Almost there. Finish the game off with checkmate. Ah, here we go. There's unstoppable mate. Way to win material. Okay. First we play queen takes. And there we go. And then we win the queen. There it is. Sweet, sweet, sweet. There, and that's it. Almost there. Almost to 50,000. Let's do a double check. Go. $600 points now. You can win if you find checkmate. think if queen takes, there we go. Because then what happens is when the rook comes over here, the queen comes. So when the rook comes over, the queen comes check because this rook stops the flight square. We're so close. There's a way to end this with checkmate here, and that's perfect there, and then mate. Draw the rook away. Excuse me. Let's see. Now we just destroy the structure there. Come over. Trying to find out. I don't know. Is this a check? Yeah, I think this is it. Then we check here. That's it. Yep, we did it. 50,000. Alright. We'll do one more puzzle. I'll allow you to take a look. Just a second. See if you can see. Calculate for checkmate and see if you can find the checkmate. Let's see if you're almost there. You did it? You got it? Excellent. If you, oops, that's, what's this here? Okay. Nice. Try one more. See what you think. I'll be right back and let you take a look. see what we got. Excellent. One more should do it. Okay, one more. This is the most important moment of the game. Find a way to checkmate him. There you go. Alright. Calculate correctly and you'll win my rook. So we gotta find a way to win his rook. Ooh, I think it's bishop here that wins. There you go, we're doing good. Okay. Calculate correctly and you'll win material, so let's see if we can calculate correctly. Yes, first of all we play knight takes, we push the pawn, we win material there. We're doing good so far, so good. Now checkmate idea, can you find the checkmate idea? Yeah, we got it. There we go. Doing good so far, so good. We're close to checkmate. Ah, perfect. Perfect. Check. Oh, not there. That for sure we'd check and then come over and grab the knight. Ah, that's the checkmate double check. Okay. Let's see here. Don't leave the game to luck. There we go. Calculate correctly. One moment, you guys have to do this calculation, and we'll be right back. Okay, we'll sell this one and then we'll say adieu. Let's see here. We'll play takes. Yep. Let's do it. And it takes. There we go. Okay. Now we'll end. And I wanted to end with a special message, my friends, for Team Chess Cruncher. Today is the most special day for all Americans. Today we honor an American that is an example of what it means to be free in America. Even though Charlie Kirk, the legend, was killed, his legend can never be killed. The moment he has started is going to be at the heart of each and every podcast I make for the rest of my chess and time with you all. God bless America, my friends, and God bless everybody that he affected and he showed love, joy, and happiness to. And always remember that, my friends. And thank you for hearing this and bearing with me on some of my words, mistakes, but I appreciate that you got the heart of what the message is about. A wonderful man. And so we're going to end with that. Remember the Team Chess Cruncher motto of hanging up your coats, hanging up your cats, and sitting down and studying. And what we should do is think about the studying that we honor Mr. Charlie with. That it's important to keep pushing forward, never giving up. Every time you play a chess, your legacy continues on, my friends. And that's what makes chess and very, very a game of honor and wonderfulness. And like what we always say, remember what Wesley So says, serve the Lord Jesus, and I say God bless, and I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Be blessed, everybody. Bye-bye.